Maria Bartiromo had the governor on, I think this is yesterday, and they talked a bit about what's going on with the campaign.
Yeah, and you've done a great job pushing back against woke. We know that. But I'm wondering what's going on with your campaign. There was a lot of optimism about you running for president earlier in the year. But here's this weekend's headline from the Politico playbook. Failure to launch. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign to topple Donald Trump has stalled. We are way behind, says a top DeSantis PAC official, sounding the alarm. What happened?
Oh, Maria, these are narratives. The media does not want me to be the nominee. I think that's very, very clear. Why? Because they know I'll beat Biden. But even more importantly, they know I will actually deliver on all these things.
So, Andrew, Spencer, I actually agree with DeSantis there. And I think it's almost sort of silly for Bartiromo to quote Politico when we know they're an activist organization, not a journalistic outfit. But the point is, he should be probably doing that on more combative television, right?
Yeah, it gives me no pleasure to say this because I, on balance, would prefer to see DeSantis win the nomination. But there's a likability problem there, and I didn't quite expect it. I think that I, and maybe DeSantis himself, were laboring under the pleasant delusion that simply being an extremely competent and right-thinking politician was enough of an advertisement to the American people and to the Republican Party. It's not, right? And so there is this big issue about, how he's presenting himself, how he's getting his message across. In a weird way, my dream scenario, which is in some ways the most distant scenario, is for us to have a presidential fight between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. And not because Gavin has my heart in any respect at all, but just because that would actually represent the fight that we are having at the national level. A lot of this other stuff is distraction to me. And a key point about drawing back, taking a deep breath, is that leaving aside, the moment when we will all have to choose which candidate we vote for in the primaries and then ultimately in the general, it is a bad idea for us as conservatives to start slitting one another's throats this early. It's already going to be a bit of a bloodbath, I think, this fight between these two camps. You've seen some really nasty stuff emerging, internecine warfare. And I just don't think it's worth it, because the truth of the matter is, although this is a very important presidential election, what's more important is the energy of the new right. And DeSantis has genuinely been a major figure, a major leader in that part of the conservative movement. He will remain that way. I hope sincerely that he bucks up his campaign. It would be a delight to see him run on his record in Florida if what he was saying is, I'm going to turn the whole country into this, essentially. These are going to be my issues. And compare that to the apocalyptic hellscape run by lizard man Gavin Newsom. All of that sounds like a great message to me. But it's sounding stiff and wooden, and it's not really, it seems to be relying, alas, on competency and skill, which is actually, unfortunately, not enough.